Hello, everyone, and I'm excited to be back with you again in this little mini video. But this one is going to be a little different than usual. This one isn't going to be a tip or encouragement or anything. This is simply just going to be me sharing a little bit of my life. We're kind of in the middle of some big changes that are going to be happening soon, and so I just wanted to catch you guys up on the latest here at the Baxter home. So stay tuned. Let's talk. All right. So for those of you who don't know, my husband, his specialty, his career path is aeronautical engineering. He worked out of his MBA school at SpaceX for a few years, and then he worked up here in Oregon. It's been 3 different companies that he's worked at until just in December, he has stepped away completely from corporate lifestyle. He and his brother are building a business, still doing aeronautical engineering, and they have some big goals. One of them is not to ever have debt, and so far, after being in business for 6 months, they still have no debt. And that's huge and exciting for them, right? And the way they're doing that is through doing contract engineering projects to earn the money to then fund the research and development that they would like to do. So kind of a dual purposed business. And they are thriving. They're doing great. My husband loves what he does, and he loves being able to be his own leader and to lead with the integrity and the honor and the direction and inspiration that he has tried really hard to maintain. And so it's just kind of an inspiring thing to watch them push for their dreams. He would say, if you ask him, he would say that it's kind of scary and hard, and there's been some really rough moments along the way. But isn't that true for anything that's worth it, right? We kind of have really rough moments right in the middle, and that's because that's our growth zone and ways where we get to learn how to partner with Christ, So, having said all that, there's also been some underlying challenges that have been going on with our family, not as a result. Some of it can play into it, but there's just been a lot of things that our family's been working through. And since December, I have kind of felt like there was a big change coming, and I couldn't tell what, but the person inside of me that does not like surprises kept searching for that answer. And I'd pray to know, and I'd also pray for patience, and I'd pray to know how to help our family in the meantime, and how to keep growing in what we did know. And the more and more we thought about it, the more we were leaning toward the understanding that we cannot stay here long term anyway, because of the way the business is structured and the best possible potential for growth, I guess you can say. So we started thinking about where would we move. Arizona came up, and Texas came up, East Coast came up, Idaho came up. The place that we have chosen to move to is St. George, Utah. And I have a chuckle there because if you go and you look, St. George has been going through this massive influx of people, top in the nation, massive. And prices for homes went from the 200,000s and 300,000s up to the 500,000 to 800,000s. It's just that much. And when we went down to tour the area just to kind of get to see what it was and make our decision if we'd go, we saw several communities where they were building 1,000 homes in each of the communities. Can you imagine all of those houses down there? So this would be one of the harder areas to move to. But at the same time, through all of our decision making and praying and trying to get to know what is needed and where God is guiding us to go.
So I need to tell you a few of those details for what this move is going to look like. Especially because St. George is one of those areas that is going to require extra complications. And the fact that my husband's new venture makes him an entrepreneur, which makes his taxes show up differently, which makes the banks a little more apprehensive with home loans. So let's talk about the plans. So the first part of the plan is, when are we moving from here? We have school that ends here in mid-June. I think it's around June 10th, June 12th for the high school. And so they will get out June 10th, but then Miriam, my second oldest, will have a Washington, D.C. trip with her 8th grade class. And she's been looking forward to that all year. And so, of course, we can't move away before that. We need her to be able to come home to us after. So we won't be moving before then. And then right after that, our church group has their girls' camp. That's the following week. And it's kind of, I don't know, inspired, heaven sent, that the way they do their timelines with all the different areas when they go to their state camps, that we last year were the last ones to go. Our date week was in August. And then this year we're back to number 1. We're in the first slot. And so it kind of works in our favor because we can have our girls go to girls camp this year before moving. And then because of the complications I'll bring up for moving there, we need to kind of be out sooner rather than later. And so while the girls are at girls camp, we will empty the house completely, and then we'll do the few updates inside the house that need to have the house empty. A lot of the other things we can do while we're in the house still. But we'll just finish up the painting and the flooring and all that kind of stuff that week while they're at girls camp, and then we're gonna have it staged and the pictures and video taken, and then listed on the market as soon as possible, even the weekend before July or the weekend of July 1st. And so that's the first step. Then the next complication thing we need to be aware of is where are we moving to in St. George? Because the home market is so fast and growing so quickly down there, there's no hope of us saying, even if I were to find a home on the sites today and say I like that home, there's no way that we can say we want to buy it now and get it settled now before we move out. Not possible. Also because we would do better to have this home sold and to have a larger down payment for that home so that the banks are a little more in our favor than just not having any tax returns from the new business, So we are planning on selling the home first and having it cleared before we even look for a new home. So that makes it complicated in the meantime, right? Kind of homeless. That's where my sister comes in. She has graciously opened her home for us to be able to stay with her for the meantime. They have 4 kids. Their oldest is the same age as our third. And so we will do a lot of exchanging, making sure my older kids can babysit or have fun or give space to their kids so they can have their own space for a little while. And there's lots of adjustments, but it's only for a couple months. And so it's going to be an adventure that we can all enjoy for those couple months. And then as soon as our go ahead like the closing date has come, or it's pretty clear that whoever's offer we accept to buy this home, it's pretty clear that they're going to stick with it, then we can say to our realtor down there, okay, let's start looking and looking with purpose, and snatch one up as soon as possible. We are getting as much of the paperwork for that area done as soon as possible here so that we can be ready for all of that. But just wanted to update you on some of those in-betweens. So our timeline basically is leaving here the end of June and being in St. George as of early July, and actually having a home probably mid-August, which is when school starts. And so that's another reason for having that timeline be the way it is, so we can know which home we're going toward as soon as possible, so we can register them all in school and get that ball rolling so they can be in school as soon as possible. So anyway, that's our news.
It just feels so peaceful and right to go down to St. George. What's cool about it is Jeff's brother, who he owns the business with, lives in St. George currently. And so we both will have family down there. And it's exciting to feel like some of the other things, like things that our kids have struggled with here, won't be an issue down there. They'll have a greater source of friends there. All of them, all four of them, will have access to the different sports that they like. And it'll be cheaper. We can afford all four going into their different sports. There's just lots of benefits of moving down there. And I guess to sum it all up, it's time. The Lord is just guiding us. It is time. Hopefully you know that, like, my friendship, my love doesn't go away. It stays there. Even if it's been years since we've chatted, like, I still, in my mind, find a way to make it feel fresh and new. And of course we'd have some details that we could talk about, what's the latest, you know? But at the same time, like, in my mind, it's like we never were apart. Like, the love is still there, the connection is still there, the desire for them to be happy is still there, all of that, and desire to do whatever I can to support. And so that's kind of what makes my friendship more lasting than where the location is, you know? I have decided, okay, this is my birthday week. My birthday is on Thursday, the 14th. And I've decided that I am going to push to have a birthday celebration. And this kind of celebration for me is a little uncomfortable because I like to give other people the spotlight instead of me. But I'm going to do it in a way that I love. I want us to get together and enjoy each other's company. And I guess I've heard that I'm one of the people in this area that is able to help people connect and be together. But also, I desire to pour love into them, so I have a few things up my sleeve that I'm going to do during the lunchtime where we can enjoy. I think I'm sharing this with you mostly because one of the things that matters to me in this newsletter and in this channel, this YouTube channel that I run, is basically to show that our hearts matter in any and all situations. That God will guide us to where we need to be, and it might be uncomfortable to go through change, but He also will help us find a greater source of joy, because our goal in life isn't to stay in one place forever. Our goal is to try and learn and to grow and up level over and over, you know? And so if it means having to get out of our comfort zone and relocate, that's what it means, you know? And so when you find yourselves in a position where you feel a little stagnant or you feel like something is a little off, I'm not suggesting think of a move. What I'm suggesting is maybe tune into your heart and try and understand what is off. Maybe a friendship needs a little more connection and repairing. Maybe you're not tuning in during those connection points, and so you might be feeling a little discouraged or frustrated with how someone might be treating you. Or you might be overdoing yourself and doing lots of tasks instead of having time to really just pour into your heart, you know? And so I wanted to share this update, partly just to say this is what we're up to, but also to say, like, if I have something that I've learned from this recent decision, it is to just tune in and to listen and be willing to follow whatever the Lord is telling you to do, because He will help you find all the answers, and we can expect that His miracles will be there to pour on us, and it'll all be beautiful. So anyway, that's the latest. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.